mostly want to ask, like, to tell our staff and different cafes what your story is and what your coffee story is so that we can spread that information when we're serving it in our cafes. So, first of all, tell us about, like, your farm in Costa Rica and how it got started with your husband, and yeah.
Okay. We were working at Florida State University. Both my husband and I have had at that point zero experience in farming, but we thought coffee was a wonderful idea to merge my life in Costa Rica with his life, because he's from Nebraska, so parents and relatives in the States, and we thought, hey, coffee, we can grow it there and sell it in the U.S., and it was that naive of an idea. We started kind of looking into coffee and researching, and everything just sounded beautiful, perfect, and we're like, well, if we bought a little farm and then we just moved there, so we're planners, so it wasn't like we quit our jobs and went the next day, but we searched for a farm, bought the farm a couple years later from the birth of the idea, and we did sell everything and quit our jobs, and we sold everything but the dog. Guapo came with us, and we landed there not knowing anything about farming, and everybody really thought, wow, midlife crisis really hit you hard, guys. Then when we got there, the worker that had been there for almost 8 years had heard that we bought the farm, and he showed up. And he's like, I heard you guys bought this farm. I've been working here. I know everything about this farm. Can I work for you guys? And we literally almost kneeled down and said, yes, please. We don't know anything about coffee farming, so we really need your help. So anyway, we hired him on the spot. He's somebody that had fourth grade education, but since fourth grade, he's been in the coffee fields, and he's almost 60. And he's a coffee whisperer, and taught us hands-on from just starting the seedlings. I mean, we started ripping old plants and really started to learn coffee from the ground up, literally. Café con Amor is a small farm in acres, is 14 acres. Our goal was always to do direct trade. We thought it was easy. But we said, we're going to do things different. We're going to treat you right, and we want you to do things right for the plants. And we started farming specialty coffee with that goal. And we just decided that we were going to try to reach direct trade. But this story from starting the farm, reaching direct trade, it's been a whole bunch of challenges. The first challenge was that the farm is small, and when you realize you don't even have enough volume to export, that's it. We're like, oh no, we didn't think about that. And thankfully we had created friendships and relationships and people we were learning with, and we invited a whole bunch of people to our farm, other farmers and neighbors, and we said, we invited them and said, here's the idea. This is how we're going to do it. No offense, and I could say this, we're going to do it the American way, not the Costa Rican way. Because mañana doesn't exist in the United States. We're going to deliver what we promised, and we're going to be a team. And so after we talked about the whole concept, everybody's like, sounding good, you know? And then we said, but if we're not buying your coffee. We want you to everybody keep on farming your farm. We're all going to share the vision of long term. We come together after the harvest, and we're going to select the best micro lots to make it to the customers that we can find in the United States that are interested in those micro lots. So out of 17 or so people we talked to said, okay. And we started Farmers Project with 2 other farmers. Now we've grown it to 5 other farmers, and we have guest farmers. And the reason why we don't want to grow the nucleus bigger is because those 5, we are friends first. We trust everything amongst us, and we really, I mean, there's a loyalty that is a special chemistry that if you add a whole bunch of people, then it becomes more political, becomes like a co-op, and then you gotta have everybody's vote. People don't know that it's specialty coffee because it really it's all a handmade experience. What's really crazy is that people don't know that what I'm drinking in this drink has had at least 40, if not 50 plus hands that were part of that process. I mean, how many products have so many hands involved?
Right.
And this chain, every pair of hands is vital to the next, because pretty much everybody has the ability to ruin it or enhance it.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people specialty coffee is a handmade experience.
Yeah.
That's why it should be valued like that, and not. I would say the main challenge is the increase in pricing. In logistics, we've had 7 years of experience exporting. There's always surprises in logistics. There's always mistakes. I mean, it's also a human chain of events. We just resource to what we know, and it's communication.
Yeah.
And I think the news have created enough of a snowball, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knows.
That you are like most excited about for this year's harvest?
Well, I think the most exciting part of this year's harvest is to deliver it to you. I don't have children, but every time it's like giving birth. I mean, I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the most exciting
Yeah.
to us, is when it gets to your hands, when we see the post, when we get your bag of coffee back. I truly tell people they are our. You have no idea, but for us, those are trophies. When we see our bag with your branding, with the care you put to tell the story, to train your baristas and your staff to add value to that, for us it's like,
Right, like that's our coffee.
look at where we're at. We're at Summit. As far as other challenges, one thing that we really need to all tell people is, I think it's also being talked about, is the environmental challenges.
Yeah.
The climate change is no joke. So unpredictable. Some of the diseases in coffee you can watch out for. Right now, we're watching out for, it's called ojo de gallo. It's a fungus, okay? And it comes from rain and too much humidity. You got a byproduct to spray that catches, and immediately get 2 more people to help us cut up shade, okay? So at least you can do something against stuff like that. Another thing we've already experienced is downpours, but I mean like downpours that wash off your money, your fertilizer, what you just put on the ground. All of a sudden, if you can't predict really how it's going to be raining, but I mean, cats and dogs, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
It's good that maybe your staff knows why is Costa Rica a little bit pricier. Do you know why labor is higher?
No, I think you should explain because you'll explain better than I will.
Well, 2 things. Pickers come from Nicaragua and Panama, so it's all immigrant labor. But the other thing is Costa Rica is the only country that has, in the coffee belt, that has guaranteed practices for the labor. In other words, it's like the benefits package that you get here. We have to provide that. So people get vacation days, people get sick days, people get maternity leave, people get, what else? And we get aguinaldo, which I think Central America kind of knows that aguinaldo is a 13th paycheck. So everybody in the country, no matter what you do, you could be whatever, you get a Christmas bonus, which is exactly the average of your monthly payment. All of that taxes the employer big time.
Yeah.
So, but social guarantees also are great, right? I mean, everybody deserves that stuff. So when you're supporting social guarantees and the money's going towards that, I think it makes sense that the coffee is more expensive. Coffee is all about the people. Then that's what grabs our heart, because I tell people, if you're getting into coffee for the money, turn around, go look for another business or another job.
Yeah.
Because you got to be a little crazy, a whole lot of passionate about this thing. To me, my paycheck is all the people I get to meet and to interact with and know that, I mean, we really care about not just the coffee, but everybody, right? I mean, it's a pretty cool community. Whole bunch of crazies, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're
Plenty of
you know,
characters.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But I love to belong to this community. It's really cool. So,
It's great.
Yeah, you've produced like a really special coffee, and we're excited to have it.